Welcome to Formula One.
Hey guys, what is going on? This is Jonathan with the final part of my 4-part series detailing the time trial laps for this season's races. Today we are going to be doing the final 5 rounds. That's Japan, USA, Mexico, Brazil, and the finale at Abu Dhabi. All links to my other parts 1, 2 and 3, part 1 being Australia to Spain, part 2 Monaco to Great Britain, and part 3 Hungary to Malaysia, will be in the description below. As with all the parts in this 4-part series, I'm using time trial mode, and as with all the others, I will be using the Mercedes. So yeah, as I said, part 1 was Australia, Bahrain, China, Russia, Spain. Part 2, Monaco, Canada, Azerbaijan, Austria, Britain. Part 3 was Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Singapore and Malaysia. German Grand Prix is not on the calendar this year as the Nürburgring and Hockenheim could not agree a deal to hold the race, and this part will be Japan, USA, Mexico, Brazil and the finale at Abu Dhabi. So let's start with Japan.
The Suzuka circuit in the Mie prefecture of Japan features some of the most famous corners in the world. The S-curves in particular require delicate control as the drivers show off the incredible handling capability of a Formula One car.
The only figure of 8 circuit on the calendar with that bridge in the middle. Only one DRS zone, which is the start-finish straight. So, as I said, as with the other parts, I am using the Mercedes. So here we go. First race of the final part of this series. Right, so we start off by heading to the last chicane of the circuit, which is where the DRS detection zone is. DRS on the start finish. Now into turn 1, brake at the 100 metre board. Into turn 2. And then comes the long left right hand section. These series of cut left-handers and right-handers. Understeer or oversteer and you'd end up in the gravel. Ooh, nearly did then. Then 50 metre board. Whoa. Okay, maybe just before the 50 metre board. Right hand turn into hairpin. Slow the car right down for that. Then up to the second hairpin, brake at 50 metres. And then brake about halfway through the corner just to get through. Now here comes this long straight over the bridge. .100 metre board into the final chicane. Then here comes the DRS, and it's 1 minute 44.016. And I think that's actually a personal best as well. Yeah. So I've just beaten my personal best on the Suzuka circuit. 1 minute 44.016. So round 17 is the Circuit of the Americas in Texas.
Back in 2012.
Let me just try that again. Yep, in Texas.
Since its first US Grand Prix back in 2012, the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas has produced some incredible racing. The Fast S's in Sector 1 and the double right-hander at turn 17 keep these cars on the very edge of grip.
Yep, so 2 DRS zones on this one. And I especially like the triple apex right-hand turn of turns 16, 17 and 18. It's almost like it's one complete corner. So here we go. Right, so we're coming around the final corner now into the first DRS zone. Up the hill to turn 1, the left hand hairpin, brake just before 50 metres. Then you might need to brake again just to avoid going into the gravel. Turn 3, right hand turn. Turns 4 and 5 and brake at 6, but I've just left the track. Oh no, it's let me get away with it. How does that work? Anyway, moving on. Coming up to the longest straight on the circuit. Brake at the 100 metre board here. And then about halfway along here is the DRS zone there. When you get to the end of here, brake at the 100 metre into this left-hander. And then into this double apex right-hander. Sometimes this is tough on the brakes. Here comes 16, 17 and 18. There you go. It's almost like it's one long sweeping right-hander, but it's actually 3 corners. Into the last left-hand turn. Oh no! They didn't let me get away with the previous lap. Right, so I'm going to have to go around again. But yeah, like me, if you put too much power on through these corners, then you could end up flying off into the gravel traps. And some of these corners can catch you out if you're not ready for them. Back into the second DRS zone. Again, 100-meter board. Double apex right hand. There we go. I actually hit the apex. The racing line shows you missing the apex of that last corner, but I actually like to hit the apex. And here's 16, 17 and 18 again, going at full pelt. I can't believe this is one of the easiest corners on the track. I can't believe I missed the apex. Right, so here we go. Again, back up the hill into turn 1. Brake just before the 100 metre, I should say. Turns 2. Turn 3. Oh! Unbelievable. See, that's what happens when you carry too much speed through that section. So I'm going to have to go around again. Does look like one of the easiest tracks on the circuit, but on the calendar, sorry, but when you're actually racing it, those corners can come up on you pretty fast, especially turns 3, 4, 5 and 6. Just went through there really slow. Right, this time. Right, that one was actually a 1:44.7, but that was invalidated. Right, come on. Don't carry too much speed into 3 and 4. Just let me get away with it again. Can never seem to get those corners right. They're the only corners on this circuit, 3, 4, 5 and 6, that give me any real trouble, because they come at you just like that. You barely pass one corner before the second one starts coming out on you. Again, end of DRS. Slow right down for that corner before putting the throttle on for the triple apex. Oh, just got away with that. Right, last corner. There we go. That's the line I wanted in the first place. Back into DRS. That's 1:44.5. Not my best, but at least I managed to get in a valid time. Yeah, my personal best is the 1:44.3, and I've done a 1:44.5. So yeah. Four attempts, and the first 3 were penalised. It's not my best run, but at least we got it out of the way. Right, so let's put that one behind us. Next is one of the newer circuits, Mexico.
In southeast Mexico City is the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, a classic track reborn for modern Formula One. Highlights of this circuit include the high-speed S's and big braking zones into turns 1 and 4.
Well, I say new, it's actually an old track, but in terms of some of the other circuits on the calendar, this is one of the newer ones for the current engine setup. What I especially like about Mexico is that stadium section that you can see, which are the last few corners of the lap. And amazingly, that's where normally the podium is in the pit lane. But in Mexico, the podium is right here in this stadium section. And I think, to my knowledge, Rosberg has won both of the Mexican Grand Prix. I think. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think Rosberg won both of them, didn't he? Yeah, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Right, so here we are, starting off in the stadium section. And the last corner. DRS is right on the start finish line. And this is long entry into turn 1. Oh, why did I do that? Right, second DRS. Tight right hand turn, double apex in fact. .50 meter board into this chicane here. To the next chicane. And then back into the stadium section. Now this start-finish line, or rather the start-finish straight, is probably one of the longest on the calendar. You know, not quite as long as the back straight in China, but it's pretty close. So back into turn 2, don't do that again. Up into the second DRS zone. And then into the sharp left-hander, brake at the 100 meter board. Whoa. I had to slow right down, that's going to compromise my lap time. .50 meter board for this series of chicanes. Throttle back on for this long sweeping left-hander. Right hand back into the stadium section. Then the final right-hander. And there we go. 124.4 I think it was. Oh, actually 125.8. My personal best was a 124.4. I think because I had to slow right down to avoid going off the track, that's what compromised it. But still, 125 is pretty good. Right, so now we're on to one of my favourite tracks in the entire calendar, Interlagos in Brazil.
The Autodromo Jose Carlos Pacha, Interlagos, Brazil. Good trail braking will be extremely helpful here, as there are a number of difficult braking points into medium speed corners. The drop down the hill through the Senna S can provide some great racing.
Right, little history lesson on this track. It used to be, I think, either round 1 or round 2. It was either Brazil or Melbourne in Australia that was the first round. But back in the 90s, when you had Schumacher and Hakkinen and Coulthard, Interlagos was actually at the start of the calendar. Then whilst Australia retained its position at the start of the calendar, round 1, Brazil got moved originally to the season finale. Before Abu Dhabi opened, this was the final round in the calendar. But now that Abu Dhabi has opened, Abu Dhabi's become the season finale, and this is the penultimate round. I remember back in 2008, one of my fondest memories of this track was, of course, when Lewis Hamilton won his first title. I mean, he was having a bad race, you know, for the entire afternoon. Felipe Massa won the race, and for Hamilton to win the title, he had to get 5th or better, and going into the last lap, he was 6th. If it weren't for Timo Glock and his tyre trouble, shall we say, yeah, Lewis may not have won the title. It could have gone to Massa, and the rest is history, as they say. I mean, I don't really care about, like, was it intentional of Timo Glock or wasn't it, but you know, what's done is done. Hamilton won his first title right here in Brazil. Oh, by the way, let me know in the comments section what your fondest memory or what your favourite track is in the entire calendar. It doesn't have to be Brazil, it could be any track or any year. Just let me know what your fondest memories are of Formula 1. Right, so here we go. Final real corner of the lap. I say real because the final few corners here are just basically you just go flat out on them. Just be careful not to cross the pit entry, I should say. Right, into DRS, brake into turn 1. At the 100-meter board, this left-hander. I mean, I've played Formula 1 games as far back as 1997, and yeah, I think this, if I remember rightly, this was round 1. But yeah, the Interlagos has been going around for quite a while. So you've just had a series of hairpin turns there into the final real corner. I don't know why I did that. Back into the straight. Now that was 1:15.5, but it was invalidated for corner cutting. Back into turn 3, into the second DRS. Well, first DRS of the lap. 100 metre board, brake into this left-hander. And then up towards the series of hairpin turns. This is the slowest part on the entire circuit, for obvious reasons. Just coming around the final hairpin now. Yeah, got it better. Last real corner of the lap. And then flat out all the way to the finish line. As I said, just don't cross the white line of the pit entry. And there you go, 1:14.4. So I think I've actually beaten my personal best on this track. Yep, 1:14.4. Right, so that one's Brazil. Now we've got the finale of the calendar, the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi.
Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi is beautiful, especially at night when the incredible Yas Hotel lights up. A technical section requires careful control out of the traction zones, and 2 long straights provide good chances for overtaking.
Right, so here we go, the final round. Yes, we know what happened at the end of last season. Rosberg ultimately won the title here, but my days did Hamilton try his best. Yes, there was dirty tactics, I admit, you know, but end of the day, Hamilton did what he thought he had to do. You know, if he backed Rosberg right up into Vettel and Verstappen, you know, it could have been different. It was kind of like Brazil in 2008 with Timo Glock and Hamilton, and you know, maybe Glock allowed him to pass, I don't know. But the fact of the matter then was Hamilton passed Timo Glock like he was supposed to. Well, not what he was supposed to, but he did what he had to do to win the title. He did what he had to do in Abu Dhabi last season to try and win the title. Obviously it didn't work because Rosberg won the World Championship and then 5 days later retired. But there we go. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments section. That's purely my opinion. But anyway, enough of that. Season finale in Abu Dhabi. Right, so here we go, around the last few corners. And into start finish. Turn 1, brake at the 100 metre board. Then turns 2, just like the USA, and you saw how much trouble I had with that. Be careful with turn 2 before it comes right up on you into this chicane. Excuse me. There was the DRS detection zone right before the hairpin. Because about halfway down this straight is the DRS zone. There it is. flat out down here. 100-meter board, put the brakes on because you've got this very sharp left hand. There's the second DRS detection zone because here's the second DRS. Now this has a slight curve on it, this DRS zone, so just be careful not to put your car into a spin. Into a small chicane there. Now you can take this double apex right hand flat out, but you've got the braking zone there into the next corner, through the hotel section. Next few corners here, last corner. And there we go. There's a 146.2. No, 140. Yeah. It was 146.2, I think. Yep. 146.2. Didn't beat my personal best of 145.4. Well, that's alright. Oh, I'm losing my voice here. Right guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet seen parts 1, 2 or 3, then the links are in the description below. If you like this video or like this series, then leave a like. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to Crazy Shadow 303. And also let me know in the comments section of any part of this series. It doesn't have to be this video. Just let me know if you would like me to attempt this again, either, you know, in the wet or with a different car, because Mercedes are obviously the faster car in the game. So if you want me to try it with a Ferrari, a McLaren or even a Sauber, then let me know in the comments section below, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you soon.